A mysterious old man gently touched a fat man's cheek, and from that moment on, the fat man would lose 3 pounds every single day. He had to eat wherever he went, or he'd waste away and die. Billy is a big-shot lawyer, tipping the scales at nearly 300 pounds, though his wife has managed to keep a slim figure. To help him get his weight under control, she prepares strict diet meals for him every day. One day, Billy took on a major case with a mob boss as his client. Thanks to his sharp legal skills, he cleverly spun the story, repackaged the facts, and got the mob boss off the hook, and the two of them ended up forming a close bond. That evening, after dinner with colleagues, Billy and his wife were driving home. But along the way, in a split-second lapse, they accidentally ran over and killed an elderly gypsy woman, who happened to be the daughter of a gypsy chief. During the trial, however, the judge and the police officer involved were both friends of Billy's, and he walked away without any consequences. In the end, Billy strolled out of the courthouse in high spirits. Just then, an old man suddenly called out to him. The old man reached out, gently touched Billy's face, and murmured, "Thinner?" Billy was confused, but didn't think much of it. Over the next few days, though, strange things started happening. Billy began dropping weight fast, 3 pounds a day. At first, he was thrilled, even thinking that at this rate, he'd soon become New York's fastest slimming influencer. But as time went on, the more he thought about it, the more something felt off. One day, while out golfing with the judge mentioned in passing that a few days earlier, an old man had also touched his face, and afterward, his skin had started breaking out in sores. Hearing this, Billy instinctively touched his own face, and a bad feeling washed over him. In just 7 days, Billy had dropped a shocking 50 pounds. Worried he might have some serious illness, his wife sent him to a doctor friend for a checkup. But the results showed Billy was in perfect health, even healthier than the doctor himself. Billy was pleased with the results. Back home, he kept devouring KFC like crazy. But no matter how much he ate, he couldn't gain an ounce. The same eerie thing was happening to the judge. Billy learned from the judge's wife that when the old gypsy man touched him, he had whispered the word lizard. Ever since, the judge's skin had gradually started developing scale-like patches, and he had already gone to the big city seeking treatment. The judge's wife grew increasingly upset, pinning all the blame on Billy. If he hadn't run over that gypsy woman, her husband wouldn't be suffering under this curse. Realizing things were spiraling out of control, Billy told his wife about the old man and the curse, but she didn't buy a word of it. In fact, she thought he'd lost his mind. Just then, Billy remembered the police officer who had perjured himself in court on his behalf. He rushed over to the officer's house, only to find the man's body already rotting away, transforming into something monstrous. The officer told Billy that the gypsy chief was behind all of this, and urged him to go kill the chief. But Billy was still counting on the chief to lift the curse and save his life, so he couldn't bring himself to do it. The officer, meanwhile, spiraled into despair, and took his own life after Billy left. When Billy got home, he stumbled upon evidence that his wife was having an affair with the doctor, and he overheard them plotting to have him committed to a psychiatric ward so they could steal his fortune. Still, the most urgent issue was lifting the curse, so Billy didn't confront them on the spot. Instead, he quietly hired a private detective to track down the gypsies. After some digging, he finally located the chief in a remote little town, but the local gypsies wanted nothing to do with him. In their eyes, he was the killer who had gotten away with murder. Billy lifted his shirt, revealing that he was now nothing but skin and bones, and begged the chief to lift the curse and spare his life. But the chief remained cold and turned him down flat. His granddaughter even shot a slingshot straight through Billy's palm. Furious, Billy stormed back to his hotel and had no choice but to call in his mob boss buddy for help. When the mob boss heard what his friend had been through, he flew into a rage and slipped into the gypsy camp that very night. After poisoning one of their guard dogs, he left behind a taunting note as a formal declaration of war. He then paid a young man to keep tabs on the chief and his people. But the next day, that young man was found dead in his car. When the mob boss got the news, he lost it completely. In his 60 years running the streets, no one had ever dared cross him like this. So the mob boss picked up an AK-47 and unloaded on the gypsy camp. In the chaos, he also killed the chief's granddaughter's husband. Having seen just how ruthless the mob boss could be, the chief feared for his granddaughter's safety and had no choice but to swallow his pride and reach out to Billy for a truce. The chief told Billy the curse couldn't be lifted, but it could be transferred to someone else. He then produced a slice of pizza and mixed Billy's blood into it. Whoever ate the pizza would take on the curse, and Billy would return to normal. By this point, Billy had already picked his target. He called home and told his daughter to spend the night at a friend's place. That evening, he passed the pizza off as a gift and tricked his wife into eating it. The next morning, Billy woke up, pulled back the covers, and found his wife dead. He walked downstairs with a satisfied smile, only to freeze in his tracks. In the sink were 2 sets of dishes, meaning 2 people had eaten the pizza. His daughter, seeing that her father was clearly doing better, was beaming with joy. Then she said something to him.
And I just had a piece of your pie for breakfast.
You had?
Yes, Dad, it was delicious.
In an instant, Billy was crushed, and any will to keep living drained out of him. Just as he was about to eat the pizza himself, the doorbell rang. It was the doctor. A light bulb went off in Billy's head, and a new plan came to him. He warmly invited the doctor inside to join him for breakfast, deciding to pass the curse from his daughter onto the doctor. And with that, the movie comes to an end.